shakes and shakes, rips me from raging dragon. Will after deep and floating low, he rises from his seat of soul. From Tolkien Gate, a bloodless grave, sentinels upon the hills to sweetheart, all heart is sound. In you anymore, don't sit so long. Rips me from raging, drive alone. For laws and skins, road shakes and shits. No friend or kin to call his
Okay, that's enough. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Torn Tuesday, your weekly dose of all things Lord of the Rings. We do this every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, and we are live, and we appreciate you, all of you, tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and no longer X because they paywalled the streaming function, and we're a not-for-profit website, so we can't afford a blue check mark. But we can afford the generous time that is donated by your friend and host of the show, Mr. Clifford Broadway. Hello, Cliff. I don't know if he can hear us. All right. Well, that was a good thing. Speaking
Hey,
of,
I'm not hearing you, Justin.
Well, I don't know what that is about.
Hold on, Justin. I'm not hearing you, and I guess you're not hearing me either.
Well, we're hearing you.
Okay,
So
that's better. Ooh,
all right.
how
There
about
you
that?
go.
We're back now. You can hear my voice, I'm sure.
I
How are you
gave
doing?
you a great intro, so just pretend I gave you the most glowing intro and take it from there.
Thank you for that wonderful glowing intro. It was a wonderful intro. It was a bloody good intro, wasn't it? I wish I'd heard it. But now I'm here with you, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Mithrandir is over here pestering me, but it's time for another Torn Tuesday where we have lots of really cool stuff going on. And wait, did you see the people in the live chat talking rather brazenly about this really awesome song, this really awesome last ballad of Damrod? Yeah, we are starting things off with a bang. That is true. Hello, everybody in the live chat, and hello to the entire worldwide audience here at Torn Tuesday. Mr. Justin Sewell, it's a pleasure to see you, sir. Hope you're doing
Yeah,
good.
we've already done the intro, so I guess, Cliff, I want to know, as a longtime documentary person on the fandom and the cultural significance, and we talked about this last year, now that you've heard the final song, metal has come to Middle-earth for the first time in an officially licensed capacity. What are your first thoughts listening to the last ballad of Damrod from Rings of Power Season 2?
Oh, I've been having a great time with it since last week when we were actually playing it last week. I'm really, really into this. Bear McCreary can do no wrong. Let's just say that, first of all. But ideally, we remind the audience why we're here at this intersection of heavy metal music and the professor, J.R.R. Tolkien. How did the twain meet? Well, you'll have to have a conversation with Robert Plant about that. You'll have to talk to Mr. Jimmy Page about that, and a lot of other artists.
Or, you know, if you can't get access to those folks, you can find a used copy of Ringer's Lord of the Fans at your local DVD store or any place that sells it used online.
Or check it out from your public library. Support your local library, as we always say. here at theonering.net. But you know what? Version
Because
2.0
Cliff,
is coming down the pipes.
you
We are
talk.
making another version of the film.
Well, you're remastering it, but you talked to Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead.
I
Yeah,
did.
and you talked to some of the
That's
legends
Kill
of
Mister.
rock and roll. Kilmister.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Ringer's Lord of the Fans talks about the influence of heavy metal, and this, I can't believe that this is an official music, officially licensed part of a soundtrack. It's so out of left field.
I think it's great. And yes, it is. It is. It's unexpected. Maybe that is why I'm getting so much joy out of it. You're probably in that camp of people, Justin, who's wondering how is this going to work? How does
Yeah,
this
I
fit
don't know, man.
into the aesthetic? But there
I
is a
can get
way.
on
There is a
board,
way.
but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I love it.
Metalocalypse, of course. This song features the drummer from Metalocalypse, Death Clock,
Mhm.
and of course
Death Clock.
the singer from Meshuggah, a Swedish hardcore band. And of course, it's written and composed by Bear McCreary. So its bona fides are legit.
It is.
And
But
I
you're
was looking
saying
for
we're
a
moving
list.
away from the sweeping orchestra, the kind of romantic orchestral lush score of Howard Shore, and we're reintroducing something which a lot of fans for many decades have embraced, and that is sword and sorcery is really very heavy metal.
You know,
It
I
is.
appreciate
It's totally metal.
I appreciate the chat room for mentioning Down to Goblin Town. You know,
Yeah, I remember that.
some of the best, I will say it, the best part of the Hobbit movies were the songs. We got
hmm
multiple
They were great.
songs in $100 million franchise motion picture. And it wasn't a musical. The songs made sense, and I feel like the two Hobbit sequels were sorely lacking in songs. So I thought
Mm.
going into the Hobbit, it's kind of cheesy. You were all like, "Oh, we better get the Blunt the Knife songs and all that stuff," and I'm just like, I don't want a song in the middle of my action adventure tentpole movie. But it was so good.
You did say that.
It was
You did say
so
that.
good in the movies. So now that we're here at a TV show and we've got metal in there, I guess my last question before we move on, because we've got a lot to talk about, Cliff, do you want this song, as you've heard it, incorporated in the actual show, in the middle of the show, not like a credit song? Do you want this music
Mm. Mm.
in the show as we watch it?
If it goes with a battle sequence, then yeah, it would be insane and really cool to be in a battle sequence. And if it's
Really?
just relegated, if it's only relegated to the end of the show and we hear it over the end credits, I think that might be a missed opportunity. Yes, I do think so. Why not? Look, at this point, with the Rings of Power, we as a fandom are often being asked to embrace the anachronisms, right? We're asked by the showrunners, embrace the time jumps. We can embrace the time compression. We can embrace the concept of mixing the order in which the rings are created. It's different from the book, but we'll do it this way because everybody involved in Rings of Power is like, we're doing our own thing over here, and this is so cool. Look at what we just made. So if they're going to actually go even further and expect the audience to embrace the anachronism of it all, then go for it. Go for it. Go full tilt.
This is
Heavy metal lambasting our ears during a nightmare battle scene. I mean, this is so cool. I think it's kind of cool because in this way, maybe look at it in a larger meta perspective, Justin. This is another fantastic way for the producers of the show to differentiate themselves from any other adaptation of Tolkien.
That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, they really do get to put their signature on it in a unique way. And I think it's really badass. It's really cool. Really.
And before we move on, I found this old meme. It's at least
look
a
at that.
decade older. But we once upon a time we made up a fake flyer for what a 2-day Lord of the Rings music festival would look like. These, of course, some of these folks have died since. That's how old this is. But all of these people have music inspired by Tolkien, lyrics inspired by Tolkien. Maybe their band name is inspired by Tolkien, or they have expressed a strong fandom, like Colbert level fandom for Tolkien. Yes. And you'd be surprised at some of those names. But most of you should not be surprised. But if you look, a lot of those bands, especially in the smaller text, those are all heavy metal bands. There's so many heavy metal bands that are inspired by Tolkien. And a Prime Video, if you're watching, please screenshot this and start calling some of these people, because we'd love to.
I got to interview a lot of people on this list for my documentary. No, it's true. There is a real ongoing history between the love of J.R.R. Tolkien in a specific way, and in a much broader sense, the love and in-depth appreciation of sword and sorcery, and how these musicians have crafted their image. You want to really bring your metal up to the audience, then you inject fantasy into your heavy metal. If that's I mean, really, that's part of it. It's part of the whole thing.
That's right. Really. So congrats to Bear McCreary. You've taken a big swing. I think the show will be better off the more it can be differentiated from what has come before. And I love the big swing. I'm waiting to see how it's incorporated, and I'm telling you, if the show feels like the music that we're hearing already, boy, oh boy, we're in for something special. We've got a ton to talk about. We do,
but in the chat, this is the best joke so far. Shelob's Web is telling us rock and troll. It's not rock and roll. It's rock and troll.
Hey, there you go.
Down. That's a great one. That's a great joke. I like it. But yeah, we do have a big show. Yes.
Well, yeah, yes. We've got info on a ton of screenings. The chat room is getting ahead of us because we're going to just tell you about winning tickets to one of the premiere screenings. So we'll get to you in a second. But Cliff, before we get into what is a lot of Rings of Power news, right before the show, I click on Twitter. And guess who's trending nationwide now? Sean Astin.
Yes, he is.
Samwise Gamgee. Samwise is trending. This isn't the For You tab. This is legit national trends here. If even if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan and you don't go to Twitter much, you should see this. Cliff, do you know why Sean is trending?
Is it because he's now hitting the campaign trail for a certain presidential candidate? Is that what he's doing?
That's correct. He posted on all the socials today. Let's see if we can turn the audio up.
Hey everybody, good morning. Here I am in downtown Chicago at the corner of East Grand and West Grand. I just decided that I need to get out and start campaigning for Kamala Harris for president. I got back from overseas yesterday, and I was going to head home and be with my beautiful wife and my gorgeous children. And then I remembered that I fashioned myself some sort of a leader, at least in my own mind. And the only kind of leadership that means anything anymore is leadership by example. So I'm going to...
So there you go. Sean Astin is hitting the campaign trail. And I love this quote tweet from someone. They said, tell me this means we get Sean Astin as Tim Walz for SNL. Lorne Michaels, I know you love our show.
Funny. That's too funny. Give
Sean Astin a call right now. I also like the idea of Tim Heidecker as Tim Walz. if there's any comedy shows that need to be casting for the new vice presidential candidate Tim Walz of Minnesota, I think Sean Astin, you put a white wig on him, he's got the right energy to play Tim Walz.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Maya Rudolph on Saturday Night Live doing Kamala, and then get Sean Astin to freak everybody out and come in and play Tim. That would be hilarious. That's a really funny idea. It's a really funny idea. I like that
Well,
idea.
and so unrelated, Cliff, because Sean Astin is officially hitting the campaign trail during this crucial moment, of this campaign season, we have more news. DragonCon officially announces that the three
dear.
other hobbits are coming to DragonCon. That's right. You can see right here, Elijah, Billy, and Dom are coming to DragonCon at the end of the month. In fact, the same weekend that Rings of Power comes out. Unfortunately, Sean Astin will not be there because he's hitting the campaign trail, as we just said. So there you go.
Oh, so he's not making the same appearances at the convention circuit the way the other boys are. Okay, I get it.
So there
get
you go. The three other hobbits will be there celebrating the 20th anniversary, of course, of Return of the King, winning all the Oscars and stuff like that. And we're looking
That's
forward
cool. Really cool.
to catching up with them. Of course, the One Ring is privileged to participate in all the activity around DragonCon. You'll be able to see a Green Dragon and Mad Eye Gamgee, Jim Wirt, and of course Deej, and a ton of other Torn regulars will be at DragonCon. We will have a small little table with some cool little merch if you want to support our little website at DragonCon in Atlanta at the end of the month, Labor Day weekend. So go
really
see the
event.
hobbits. Go see the three hobbits. And say hi to our staffers, and because we're really excited for this. That's not the only people you can meet this month. Speaking of meetups, Forbidden Planet in Leicester Square in London is hosting a meet and greet for the cast of Rings of Power. Yes, Tuesday, August 20th. That is 1 week from today. 1 week,
And that's
7 days.
In New York City.
That's in London. At our London Mega Store.
In London. Wow.
You can meet the cast and crew of the Rings of Power, including Charlie Vickers, Sam Hazeldine, Sophia Nomviti, Rory Kinnear, and Charles Edwards. And of course, Mick Payne will be there as well. So I believe this is one of the first publicity events featuring both Adar and Tom Bombadil.
So, boy, that's really cool. That'll
you
be really
could be
cool.
one of the first fans to get Tom Bombadil's autograph in the history of pop culture.
Oh, wow!
Am I wrong?
He wasn't even. He was not at San Diego, was he?
He wasn't.
Oh, that's right. Then that means these folks in London will get their very first chance to have the first ever Tom Bombadil autograph. That's kind of. That's kind of freaking cool.
Right?
That's so freaking cool.
Right?
I want to run over there right now. You know what? Here's the problem. Normally, I would go to London if I had very special events to go and see, or, interviews to conduct, or perhaps one of my favorite British bands of all time. But as luck would have it, next Tuesday, on Torn Tuesday, on this very show, I'm afraid that I will be absent, because my favorite British band from the British New Wave is coming here to America, and I will be seeing Martin Fry and ABC live on stage with Howard Jones next Tuesday. So I'm afraid that I will not be with you guys. I will be, shooting that poison arrow to my heart.
That's
Talking
right.
about archery. There's been arguments about archery online today.
We'll get there. We'll get there in a second.
Really funny stuff. Okay, yes.
So, all right. So next Tuesday, the 20th, meet and greet of the cast of the Rings of Power, and please get Tom Bombadil's signature and share it with us in our Discord. That's at Forbidden Planet. That's not all. You guys, of course, want to go to one of the premieres of Rings of Power Season 2, win a double pass to the Australian special screening. So you can go to x.com and search for Prime Video AUNZ. Prime Video AUNZ. And all you have to do is reply to their tweet here with
Mhm.
tell us in
There you go.
25 words or less, which character would you want to ride into battle with and why? Cliff, would you answer the question?
Which character would you want to ride into battle with and why? In 25 words or less. So I can pick any of the characters?
Go ahead.
Arondir. I'm gonna rock with my friend Ismael Cruz Cordova. I'd ride into battle with my boy Arondir. Why? Because he has a heart of gold and apologized to that tree, and I kind of can't resist, that smoldering look on his face when he's in slow motion being all badass. There you go. Was that less than 25 words?
That's great.
He's awesome. He is so awesome. Who would you ride into battle with, good sir?
An Ent.
Let me guess.
I would be. I
An
would.
Ent?
I would want to be like Merry and Pippin and ride in the tree tops, the tops of an Ent, into battle, because Merry and Pippin
Yeah.
survived a pretty good battle on the back of an Ent, and if that isn't a safe place to be, I don't know what is. So
Yes, me and Katie are sharing a brain cell. Yes, me and Katie in the chat are like orange cats. You ever put two orange cats together? They share the same brain cell, but not at the same time. Everybody knows this about orange cats. So thank you, Katie. That's hilarious. I love it. I love you guys.
Cliff, before we move on,
Everyone's getting to get all this good stuff overseas. It's really cool. Really
so
cool.
we just told you that the premiere, the big global premieres in London next Tuesday
Yes.
night, next
right.
Tuesday the 20th.
Mhm.
We can confirm for you exclusively. It's not in this tweet and it's not on Instagram, but we will confirm for you right now here on this show. This screening in Australia, New Zealand, is on Monday, the 26th.
Wow, that's awesome. Very exciting.
So, Cliff, let me ask you this. If there's a
Yes.
premiere on Tuesday the 20th in London, and then there's a premiere in Australia on the following Monday, the 26th, are there any big cities between those two that a
Yeah.
potential fan premiere could occur?
Yeah. A little town where I happen to live called Los Angeles, the city of angels. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little place called Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
But we have no news of that yet, do we?
We have no news of that
We
yet,
have no
but
news of that. Yeah, so-
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
if
that
Prime
would be the
Video,
place to do it.
if you're watching,
Let's
If you're
host a big
watching-
fan event. I
Cliff-
love this idea.
Cliff's DMs are open. Y'all
Our
know how to get
friends-
a hold of us.
Let's talk to our friends. Hello. Talking out there through this camera to all of our wonderful friends at Prime Video. Let's put on a show. Like get
We
the
can
community
fill that
theater
audience.
together.
We can fill
let's put on a
whatever
show.
theater. We can fill a theater. I promise you. We
You
can fill
pick
a
the theater. How about the New Beverly, or maybe the Vista, or maybe one of the American Cinematheque spaces? Because they're
That's right.
new refurbished theaters there at the Egyptian.
The beautiful
It would
4K theater in Culver City that
Oh.
Amazon has just refurbished. I mean,
Oh, that's fabulous
c-
too. Yeah,
we
fabulous.
could do this. Fans
Yeah.
in our chat room would be happy to show up in Los Angeles in
And
cosplay.
there would be great cosplay, lots of cosplay, and I would use the dulcet baritone that I'm gifted with, the one that I use at weddings, and I would use my very best wedding voice to introduce the film, like I used to do back at the Cinerama Dome. I was tweeting about that earlier today.
Rest in peace, the Cinerama Dome, man. I can't
Oh,
wait for that
well,
to open up again.
Hopefully someday.
post pandemic. But anyway, if I were a betting man, I would say that there's a London premiere on Tuesday night. Everybody has a good time, big party. They sleep it off. They jump on a plane on Wednesday. They land on Thursday. They do some press here in LA Thursday evening. Friday
Oh, not a
they
bad plan.
do an LA premiere on Friday. Then they sleep it off. Then they hop on a plane on Saturday, get to Australia, because that's like a 22-hour flight. And then they do their big
is.
premiere in Australia on Monday, the 26th. That's my prediction. I have no inside info. I'm just counting the days, and of course, 3 days after that, on Thursday, the 29th, is when Rings of Power debuts for everybody around the world. It is our prediction.
Wow.
We don't have any inside information, but it is our prediction that Rings of Power will debut at the normal start time for NFL Thursday nights, which is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That is my guess. I don't have any information at all. My guess is the 2 or 3 episode season premiere will be Thursday the 29th, possibly at 4 p.m. Pacific.
I thought we were reporting it was 3 episodes out of 8, which would be the entire opening.
We still don't have any confirmation. There's been rumors, but most of these premieres have only been 2 episodes. Most of these premieres, and we're going to get into those premieres in a second, but all the premieres have been 2 episodes only, not 3. Interesting, huh?
Thank you, Troy Hillman. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. It's great to see you guys in the chat. Last one, awesome. Lovely to have you all here. Look there's Robin and Cecilia, Gustavo. We have so many great people here.
Well,
they're
Cliff,
teasing us today with a big launch tomorrow. It's the big trailer tomorrow, on top of the 3.5-minute trailer we got out of San Diego not too long ago.
This is the big one. So
this is the big main
I've
one.
I've got exclusive info for you, Cliff.
Mm.
We are confident in reporting that this trailer tomorrow will premiere, go live at 7 a.m. Pacific time.
Oh gosh, you're going to get me out of bed? Well, honestly, I'll be awake because I'm getting on an early train to go to Disneyland tomorrow morning. So I should be awake, I think, at that time. But how am I going to get any reporting done when I'm going to be on an Amtrak going down to Disneyland?
That's right.
Well, do we have any idea about the trailer length? Do we have any clues or hints? Or we don't have a drop of information about this, do we?
The only drop of information we have is a little birdie landed on our shoulder and said 7 a.m.
Nice. Okay.
That's it. Those
7 a.m.
Those crows are learning English very well. Crebain.
Funny.
Crebain of Dunland. Is that where they're from?
Crebain from Dunland.
Yeah.
If you want to pronounce it that way.
That's what we predict. 7 a.m. Pacific time. Of course, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We'll get our final premiere. Now, Cliff, I'm sure we'll talk about this next week after we've watched this last trailer.
Everyone will have their breakdown videos before we get to come back to it the next week. Yeah.
Our job here is to report on the fan conversation that's happening. Almost everything that we say on this show is derived from the community here, whether it's Discord, the message boards, Twitter. We're taking a pulse constantly of the conversation around Lord of the Rings. And I have to say, Cliff, I want to know if you agree with this. A lot of fans, a lot of hardcore fans are kind of disappointed that so much information has been revealed. And a lot of fans are actually potentially tuning out of this next trailer tomorrow because they've seen enough. They don't want to be spoiled anymore.
That's an interesting sentiment. Why? Because 2 years ago, we were complaining very loudly that we didn't have any details. There was a great lacking, a huge deficit of give us details. And now that the marketing machine this time around is giving us a lot more, I find it a little ironic and kind of funny that I'm seeing tweets from people saying, I need to beg off the trailers. They just don't want to get spoiled. It's so funny, one way or the other. So
where is the balance?
Fans being fans,
right? It's fan. There's an element of that, but I do think there's something. There's something important that everyone should be learning. Be careful what you wish for. First off, But
Yeah.
also, one of the concerns is a lot of the criticism, fair criticism of season 1, was complaining about the mystery boxes. We weren't offended about the mysteries of the marketing. We thought that
Yeah, that's
you and I both knew
different.
about
That's different.
Sauron. Like, we knew 5 years ago.
And
That
we kept that secret for so long. Oh my gosh.
But we did our best to communicate publicly and privately to say, hey, keeping Sauron a secret is stupid. It's a bad idea. We don't think you should do it. We'll keep your secret, but I don't agree with it. And so I feel like they've gone too far the other way, and they're just revealing all the secrets in the marketing. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Our issue wasn't the secrecy of the marketing. Our issue was, like, you kept secret the stupidest things that we knew nobody was gonna like, So I don't know, man. It's this or that, tit
so
for
funny.
tat.
No.
It's careful what you wish for, basically.
Here's the thing. You can always not watch the trailers. I sometimes like to go into a feature film in a movie theater without seeing the trailers. I am aggressively avoiding the Beetlejuice trailers right now. I avoid them everywhere I can avoid them. I really do. In fact, it comes on the screen and I run out to the lobby, put some butter on my popcorn, and then come back. That's how I'm doing this. If you're going to reverse engineer this idea of saying we've got too much information, we've got too much in the trailers now, just flip the switch off if you have to. But I don't want to go back in time to 2 years ago where we knew nothing. Where we knew nothing.
Yeah, it was a bad time.
It was different because
we
were struggling to get a coherent message, and we didn't know who the characters were, and there were fake names of characters all across the internet, and we were trying to figure it out. But we will, by all means, we will have to cover some of this next Tuesday after Tea with Tolkien and Nerd of the Rings and Men of the West, Yoistan, and everybody's had a chance to dissect all the details. We'll be the last ones to be able to do that.
You won't believe this, Cliff, but I still have not watched the Comic-Con trailer. I have not watched anything since before Comic-Con.
Really? You didn't even watch Matt, Nerd of the Rings? And
I
his
did not
bit
go
by
to
bit
Hall
breakdown?
H. I didn't go. I didn't watch any of the breakdowns. I didn't go to Hall H. We were busy at the booth on the show floor.
Yes.
We sold out of all of our shirts, and we thank all of the fans for the support.
Yes.
But I kind of used that as a threshold to say, you know what? I'm done. If I can avoid watching the San Diego Comic-Con trailer and everything since, I'm just going to keep this up. So I'm telling you guys right now, I may not watch tomorrow's trailer because I haven't seen anything since the first teaser a couple months ago. And maybe I will appreciate the show more by knowing less.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay.
So if I can do it,
see what you're
you
doing.
can do it. And we've done, shout out to our Discord mods. The mods on Discord have done a great job of being able to sequester all of this official marketing, because the official marketing has spilled over into spoiler territory. At this point, things that are being said in interviews and trailers being released are all full of spoilers. So we've had the Discord mods have done a great job of sequestering official marketing in its own thread on Discord. So you can talk about the show without being spoiled on Discord. So thank you guys.
I tell you, I think the interviews are much more spoilery. The interviews are more spoilery than the trailer.
Well, let's get into one of those interviews.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but
hold on.
The interviews are really revealing.
So this was let's talk about one of these big interviews. So this is a photo, folks, from the Berlin premiere. Yes, that's right. It says Ring den Macht. I'm sure I totally said that wrong. But der Ring der Macht is how you say the Rings of Power in German. I don't know.
Yep.
So those are.
I think you say, in saying the Lord of the Rings in German, you say der Herr der Ringe. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So
Ringe.
this was the first secret premiere. And then they've gone to Mexico, they've gone to Brazil, of course they're going to London, they're going to India, and I think they're going to and then Australia, of course. So while they were in Germany, they did a big 16-minute video interview with Bild, a very well-known outlet over there. BILD. We've linked to it on our Discord. If you go to our Discord, we've got links to all these official things. Of course, it's all in German, and they took
Sprechen
a
Sie
wonderful
Deutsche?
photo.
Sprechen Sie
Absolutely
Deutsche?
not. Net.
Niet. That's Russian. That's Russian. That's Russian. Nein.
Well,
I think to say German no is nein.
So this is a 16-minute video interview included with this article, and unfortunately for us,
Willkommen in Berlin.
they dubbed the
Ich
entire
finde, das ist eine
video.
tolle
They dubbed
Idee
the
der
actors
Macherinnen und
English
Macher,
into
ein solches
German.
Pärchen in der Staffel mit einzubauen.
So, I would love to start with Charlie.
Ich würde jetzt gerne mit Charlie beginnen,
Because everybody is
denn
talking about,
alle möchten natürlich
Wow.
So, yeah.
die Türen sich geöffnet haben, richtig?
Fart, by the way. Sorry, can I just make that clear?
Ich wollte nur mal sagen, das Geräusch hier war jetzt keine Flatulenz, kein...
Yeah, so this was a tough
I just
one.
heard the German word flatulence. I just heard the German word flatulence, which is
Well-
probably the same word. They're making fart jokes. They're actually making fart jokes. I think. I think. Is that what I just heard?
I don't know.
Is that what I just heard?
Well, so
Oh my
our
gosh.
enterprising fans on Discord, when this launched, we have fans on Discord from almost every country and every time zone, and it's wonderful. And we have some German-speaking fans in Discord, who shared, who translated some of the stuff, and
Okay.
it was really interesting, some of the things. Again, spoiler alert, folks. Spoiler alert. Here we go.
Oh dear.
According
Here we go.
to some of the loose translations, Cliff, I want your reaction here.
Okay.
Charles Edwards, who plays Celebrimbor, says is talking about the spell cast on him by Sauron.
Yeah.
But the German translator calls it a curse.
Okay.
Cliff, is there anything in the canon of the books where Brimby is cursed?
No, that's just a translation choice. That's just a choice of the translator. That's not for us to read into it literally to make it sound like there's something going on in the
Okay.
story like that. Okay.
Sophia talks about she goes on about how close and tight knit the dwarves are, and especially her and Durin, and then mentions they were also times where they got a little bit sassy and brazen.
Oh, sassy.
And I think that's the clip that we just saw. Getting so the dwarves get into that, but she also says, Disa, spoiler alert.
Oh gosh, spoilers.
When I put my hand down, you can come back to the show. Disa will lose her voice.
But that's the most important thing that she has.
She says in this interview, Disa will lose her voice and we will see the terrible consequences that will have.
Oh, that is a big spoiler.
It's
Wow.
a huge spoiler.
That's a big spoiler. Wow. Okay.
Cliff, your reaction.
That's a big spoiler, but
I don't even want to talk about it because it's such a spoiler.
At least if they're going to have the story go in that way, there must be a remedy. There must be a remedy somehow for her, as a character to get her voice back in the future season. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the remedy is for that.
It terrifies me that they blinded Muriel and they're potentially muting Disa. Will they deafen another character and you'll have the triptych of can't see, can't hear, can't speak?
The trifecta, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe
Dangerous
not.
game.
I don't know.
All right. Spoilers over.
Maybe.
Come on back.
Okay, you can come back in the show.
Owain says Moria sets are almost as big as the hall that they're having the interview in. The Moria sets are bigger than ever. There's many more details, including a market.
Ooh, okay, cool.
A dwarven market.
A dwarven marketplace, which we have never seen up close. We should check that out.
What else? Let's see. Owain says Owain gracefully evades talking about the Balrog. Only say there are many more battles than season 1.
Oh dear.
Moving on to this German interview full of spoilers. Charlie Vickers, who plays Sauron, says Charlotte Brandstrom, director, managed something really special with episodes 7 and 8 to balance the big battle with more intimate conflicts of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff,
cool.
This isn't the first time that Celebrimbor and Sauron have been described as intimate.
Don't lay on a double meaning on that word, Justin. That's not there.
All right.
I would caution against that. But even when Peter Jackson would hold the camera incredibly, incredibly tight close-up on Ian McKellen's face, and you hear Ian McKellen admonishing Frodo, he says, keep it secret, keep it safe. That is still considered intimate. That's a different sense of being intimate, because the two characters are nose to nose over an incredibly tense moment of understanding and deep fear. And there's an admonishment, and yet it's still shot appropriately, shot as a very intimate moment. And the audience gets to personalize the feeling of Gandalf telling you, don't you dare while I'm gone. And that kind of admonishment is an intimate moment on a different level. Okay. So
the final big thing that shout out to Bowron in the chat room in the Discord for translating a lot of this while it was happening. Someone in this interview asks Charlie Vickers if he had to learn the black speech. Great question. Charlie Vickers surprisingly evasive about the question, but starts talking loosely about a different dialect.
Oh, a different dialect. Oh, that sounds interesting.
So, do you think Charlie is actually speaking black speech? Is there a different is there a different dialect that he could be speaking?
I would assume that Sauron could speak any of the languages on Earth. Any of the languages, if he wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, but that could be a hint of him just hinting around the black speech of Mordor coming in. So,
if you go to if you find Azurmond, Azurmond on Twitter, they have translated most of the build interview in text form. This is a 16-minute video interview. So everything is there. Of course, we've linked to it in our Discord. So shout out to all of the fans doing the hard work, keeping other fans informed. Cliff, huge spoilers. I mean, there's no getting around it. That was That was spoilerific.
Spoilerific, yeah. So maybe if you really want to enjoy the marketing, but not read all the interviews, maybe you can enjoy the marketing and not get spoiled if you just don't read the cast interviews until later on.
Speaking
So
of,
maybe that's a possibility for
that's
myself.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
before we get into the late-breaking Brazilian reviews, Brazilian first fans.
Oh my God, the Brazilian fan base is the biggest.
Before
and best
we get there,
in the world, they're like the biggest. Just
you
great,
mentioned a
great
thread
fans.
about archery. At first, it was 30 tweets long, and
yes,
I ain't got time
Is
to
it-
read all that. Can you give us a little explanation of what's going on Twitter when it comes to archery and elves?
I didn't read all of it either, but here it is. People are critical because it's the internet and people are hiding behind their keyboard and being stupid. So that's it. It's the internet. And somebody had to criticize this one image from the poster of Galadriel has been knocked back on her back and shoulders, and she's, trying to shoot this arrow, and someone's trying to say, oh, this is bad form, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. And then appropriately, somebody who knows a thing or two better about it comes in with a list of corrections about the task and the athleticism and the skill that it takes to pursue this type of archery. Let's take a look at a couple of those little posts that are there.
Sure.
For what it's worth, this person has, an Olympic-style resume, and they've been in Junior Olympics archery development program. So, moving on, archery in media tends to range, LOL, from mediocre at best to extremely inaccurate at worst. If you want a detailed breakdown of exactly what's wrong with the archery in a particular TV show or a movie, congrats. There's a whole cottage industry of people online who do that. Excellent. So that's really cool. These are people who can debunk and clarify what the stunt performers are doing and what the action choreography really is supposed to be doing in terms of archery. So I find that fascinating. Really.
Yeah. The fans have got your back, Galadriel. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Another thing. Oh wow.
Higgy Baby says that's Calabrian's thread. It's so good. Thank you, Higgy Baby. We know this person.
The other thing,
we know this person.
Not related to Rings of Power. But Cliff, did you see this?
What's that?
Saoirse Ronan, one of my favorite actresses right now.
She's awesome. I think Atonement is an outstanding film, still overlooked. What a great film.
Saoirse Ronan, it says she's still grieved about not being able to star in The Hobbit and wants to make more blockbusters.
I think it's pronounced Saoirse. But yeah, if she couldn't get into The Hobbit trilogy 10 years ago, maybe
do you think
she could get into season 3. Maybe she could do season 3 of Rings of Power.
Was she up for Tauriel?
Oh, I don't know.
This is breaking news. Like
interesting speculation. That could be the connection.
Saoirse
she was
almost got a huge role in the Hobbit movies.
Saoirse.
And and there was only one female character lead in the whole Hobbit trilogy. That's
right.
That was Tauriel.
Wow.
She would have been.
If we're connecting the dots.
Wow.
That might be not a difficult intellectual stretch to assume that Saoirse Ronan was up for the Evangeline Lilly part. Wow, I did not realize
or
that. Or
Bard's daughter. Again, this is 12 years ago. But
Bard's daughter? I don't know.
I think she would have been
okay. Or Bard's daughter
to be Tauriel. So anyway, that was amazing. All right, well, moving on. The Brazilian premiere happened, and I believe Mexico premiere. and a bunch of influencers were invited to these things. And again, spoiler alert, you're gonna get first reactions from
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Brazilians. So if you don't want to know what the reactions are for the actual first 2 episodes, go ahead and mute. Here we go. The first one, let's hit the translate button. I've already watched the first 2 episodes of the 2nd season of The Rings of Power. I can't say much, but I really like it.
That's not a spoiler.
My expectations going in were already high, but it still surpassed them. It's really good. The images are incredible. The story is very good. I can't give any spoilers.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously, just wait.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Here we go.
That's a good feedback. That's very good feedback.
I can only say that I really liked it. It really surprised me. The little things that I was a bit on the first season, the new season fixed. That's it. Watch it.
Well, that's news to many. That will be welcome news to people who had certain feelings about season 1. So, nice. A lot of positive feedback so far.
And let's see.
Very nice.
Do we have a translate button on this one? Oh, no, it's English. Gabby Orsini, a Brazilian journalist, made friendship bracelets for the cast, and
Yay.
Benjamin Walker used his during the premiere.
Oh,
my gosh. Guys.
That's great.
Look at this. She made friendship bracelets, and Benjamin Walker Gil-galad wore his on for all the press on the red carpet. You know what, Cliff? I love our friendship bracelets we got at Comic-Con. Someone made this one. Yes, that is the One Ring, one inside a ring for SDC 2024. You know, thank you. I don't know who made it popular. Was it Taylor Swift? Thank you for making friendship bracelets popular. I love these things. Thank you so much to all of you who stopped by the booth and gave me a whole bunch of them. And all of us, keep it up. And if there is a chance that you go to any of these premieres for Rings of Power, keep it up. Bring some more friendship bracelets, because looks like the actors love it as well.
That's so cool. Yeah, I got 2. I got 2 friendship bracelets over that Comic-Con, because I was barely there for a day and a half.
That's right.
I do enjoy seeing the Brazilian fans anytime I get a chance to, because they're having so much fun, having such a good time with it. That's really cool. Well, what's next? What's next? Did you say the next big fan screening is in London on the 20th, right? In 7 more days?
Yeah, next Tuesday, along with that meet and greet with the cast.
That's right. That'd be
So
cool.
between this Tuesday and next Tuesday, they're currently in Brazil. Do you think they fly up the coast to New York? And do they do a New York premiere? Maybe they do a Mexico premiere on Thursday. Maybe they do a New York premiere this weekend. I don't know.
Maybe to coincide with New York Comic-Con. It might be too late. No, wait, DragonCon. Oh, DragonCon actually happens after.
DragonCon is opening week. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be the opening week of it. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, in that regard, they should go up the coast. Yeah, and go from South America up to Central America, and then on up to North America, and hit all the spots that they can along the way.
Well,
including Los Angeles. Yes.
In preparation for for the stuff, Tea with Tolkien has created a template that you can get at teawithtolkien.com and on our Discord.
Yes.
Where people are filling in their bingo cards for tomorrow's trailer. These
bingo
are all
cards.
things
I love it.
That
I love it. It's really funny.
Our Discord regular Living Anarchy um, thinks might be in the trailer tomorrow.
So you get to mark off everything on your bingo card if it actually shows up in the trailer. That's what that's about.
That's right.
And
So
if it's a blank, can you fill it in with anything you want?
it
your-
is blank. You can make your own
Yes.
at teawithtolkien.com. So Cliff, since
Oh,
we have
that's
since we have
That's
this
so
on
great.
screen, what do you think are the chances of any of these happening on the trailer tomorrow, the final official trailer for Rings of Power Season 2?
Wow. Let's take a close look. Let me see. Okay. Life in Canyon moment with the stores. Yep, that will show up. Dark Wizard says at least
wait,
two
hold
words.
on. Wait,
Yeah.
slow down. You think we're going to
What?
see stores in action tomorrow?
Probably for half a second. Yeah. There'll
Okay.
be a clip. There'll be a, you know how these trailers are, where they show lots and lots of really quick.
We
quick
haven't
things.
heard up until like one magazine article. Man, I almost wish that was one of the things I wish they'd kept secret. Anyway, continue. If you think it's going to be in the
Yes.
trailer, then
Yes.
go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Curdania inside the forge. All right. Círdan? Is she making a joke about all right, I need the chat to help me out. What is the Curdania joke? What is that joke?
Is that
Because this is new to
a
me.
reference to Muse, the band Knights of Curdania? No.
No, I mean Curdania or Myrdania? Okay. It wasn't a joke. Okay, so I mean Círdan inside the forge? Oh, she typoed the name. Laswen has just explained everything for us. It's just a typo, okay? It's just a cute typo. Okay, so Círdan inside the forge. No, I don't think we'll see Círdan in Eregion. I don't know if we'll see him inside the forge. Elendil the prisoner. Oh. Elendil being held a prisoner? Okay. Random Balrog frame. Dwarf Lord's Gathering. And then the bottom two are Gil-galad appreciates
Approaches.
who? Oh, Gil-galad approaches Damrod. And then the last one is Forodwaith. Forodwaith explosion. Does it say explosion, but different
Yes.
angle?
Yeah.
Okay, Forodwaith explosion, but different angle.
So,
Wow.
all right. So, what do you think is least likely to show up?
What is least likely to show up?
I don't think Damrod and Gil-galad need
Approach
any
each
more
other?
screen time.
That might actually happen. This new Dark Wizard says at least 2 words. That might be the one thing that is held secret when we're talking about the Ciarán Hinds
Yes.
Darker Wizard, all right? Played by the great actor Ciarán Hinds. I get a feeling they might be keeping Ciarán Hinds even closer to their vest. Yeah, so that might be the one that's least likely to appear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and I think she means Durnost. Yeah, Laswen, you may also be identifying that there's a big explosion in Forodwaith. And up in the Forodwaith area is technically the geographic area where that new non-canon fortress of Durnost was featured in the opening of season 1. So yeah, both terms are acceptable because Forodwaith, Caitlin is just talking about the general geography of the landmass, and Durnost is the actual physical location. So yeah, I get a feeling that we are very likely to get a lot of these things. We're very likely to see random Balrog and Dwarf Lord's Gathering and Gil-galad approaching Damrod and an expansion in a different angle. Yeah, these things are very, very likely to happen.
Okay. Is there anything you would add to this if you were making one of these?
Oh yeah, if I were making one of these,
What do you think is
I
going
might
to be in
have
the
some-
trailer tomorrow?
okay, because the center square is free, and everybody knows on a bingo card, the center square is free. But out of these 8 possibilities, yeah, that's right. I'm gonna go with what people in what Garth just said in the live chat. Ents. There will be another picture of Ents.
Oh,
Definitely.
you think?
There will be an Ent image. I will speculate there will be a slow motion of Arondir shooting an arrow. There'll be slow-mo, like Matrix bullet time footage of Arondir. And a few other things that I highly expect will be there. Conversation between Celebrimbor and Anatar, where Celebrimbor says, "What shall I call you?" Now I think that will be retained. I think that will be retained. That was in the Hall H Comic-Con trailer. So, oh yeah, Elrond fighting, yeah. Agent Spaniel, you are correct. There will be a battle shot of Robert Arameo in mud and blood and battle. There
They
will be some
have
battle
to.
shots of Elrond.
That's a
Yep.
fangirl. That's a fangirl. A slow mo shot.
I guess
I never
I'm
thought
picking the
that
most
Elrond
obvious.
would turn into the Aragorn, the sweaty, dirty Aragorn.
Yeah,
Thirst
look at what
trap.
he's turned.
But of all people, Elrond is the
Why
thirst
not?
trap.
Why not?
Cliff, come on. Did you ever expect Elrond to be the thirst trap?
Yeah, why not? He's awesome. Elrond
Yeah, no,
is totally
great. It's great.
awesome.
And Robert Arameo, fantastic. You earned it. You deserved it. And your dad
But
must be
Rob-
really
Rob-
proud. But did you
would be,
ever
yeah,
expect
proud, yes.
Elrond, in your
No.
mind's eye, was
I
Elrond
didn't.
ever a
I did not
thirst
expect
trap?
that.
That's my point.
Nah, didn't expect that. However, it is a great pleasure to see Robert doing something different than Hugo was doing. It's a pleasure to see that. And his acting is great.
We have another picture from the Brazilian premiere, folks. Look at this.
Look at that.
They've got full gold branded popcorn and drink tins and cup with a holder. Amazon Prime Video. It says Amazon Prime right there. But Prime Video, you have my address. If there's any swag that's left over from any of these things, just go ahead and just drop it in the mail. Just put it in that UPS truck, and
So
you
funny.
have my address. I know. I still have the book that you sent, and yes, I would like one of those, please.
That's
Because
fabulous.
My paper one is running out of steam, and I need my season 2 popcorn holder, and that one looks much more premium than that. Let's
That's
see what
cute.
they say. Oh,
That's cute.
So here's another interesting one. I was very critical, and I came back very happy. Anyone who had doubts in the first season will be surprised,
Oh.
It far exceeded my expectations and corrected all the points I didn't like. Whoever doesn't like it is crazy.
Excellent feedback. That is excellent feedback.
Cliff, this is probably the best short form review that most people can identify with, because
I agree. It
You know?
really hits all the salient points. It really it's very brief and hits the salient points. That's quite an endorsement. It's really cool, and I'm glad to hear it. I have a feeling that's why when
I got a feeling.
when I left the party in San Diego and I shook JD Payne by the hand. Actually, I just picked him up and shook him off the ground. No, I mean when I shook JD Payne's hand and said, "Congratulations on the new season," I got a feeling it's going to go very, very well for you. And I didn't finish my sentence before he actually said, "It's better. It's better than the last one." He said that right to me. And that was not Patrick who said that. It was JD who said that. And was just a delightful moment. And I get a feeling this synergy is coming out now with these early responses from Brazil.
All right, let's see what Ismail says.
Segunda temporada, en tres palabras.
Action-packed, tragic, but hopeful. That was 4 words.
Dynamic, exciting, and dark. La mágica, el compañerismo difícil.
Manic, hopeful, and dark. Very dark.
Exciting, scary, and very suspenseful.
So I'm gonna go breathtaking. That's gonna be one word. And then I'm going to say soul-searching. Sort of cheated there.
Segunda temporada, en tres palabras.
That's great. Oh man, thank you Brazil for giving us a scoop. All right, and breaking news. Where'd it go? Breaking news, folks.
You mean right now? Breaking news? Oh,
right
dear.
now.
What have we got?
The team up you never expected, Kim Kardashian and Charlie Vickers will be on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon tomorrow night.
For heaven's sake, wow. That's so funny. Charlie Vickers is going to be on tomorrow night. That means they got Jimmy Fallon all the way back from Paris because he was there at the closing ceremonies for the Paris Games. So they got him back. He had a day of sleeping, and now he's going to be back on the air tomorrow.
There you go. So tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Jimmy Kimmel. A lot of you might be watching this not live because you're watching. So tomorrow, Wednesday night, on Jimmy Fallon, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and I'm sure they'll post the clips on YouTube. They normally do, I think. Charlie Vickers.
Paul says that Kim K will have a cameo as a dwarven market vendor. That's hilarious. I'd pay good money to see that.
Jimmy Fallon, funny. Not Jimmy Kimmel. You're correct. Jimmy Fallon, not Jimmy Kimmel. That's
I was
NBC.
saying Fallon, right? Yeah.
I might have said Kimmel.
Yes.
Well,
you're so funny.
There you go, folks. That's what's going on in the world of Tolkien this week. We've got a bunch of premieres going on. Brazil just happened. We got Mexico. We've got London next Tuesday. I think you know what? I think what they might do is London on Tuesday, fly to India, do an India premiere on Thursday or Friday, and then from India go to Australia for the following Monday, Australian premiere.
Right.
And then after Australia, maybe they could end up back here for a sneaky thing on Wednesday night, the 28th. Just want to tell Prime Video again, if you're watching all the way to the end, I don't think either of us are going to Dragon Con. We'll be here in LA if you do something in LA.
Yes, let's do something in Los Angeles. For all the fans here in Southern California, let's do that. Let's definitely do that.
Well, Cliff,
okay.
I'm getting pretty hype, and it's getting harder and harder to not be spoiled for season 2 of Rings of Power. Again, I haven't watched the San Diego trailer. I'm gonna try to refrain from watching the trailer tomorrow. We talked about this last week. We talked about this last week. I was pretty mad that they called the song "The Last Ballad of Damrod." I was like, the soundtrack titles are spoilers in themselves. I was kind of disappointed.
Not at all.
So
it's totally fine.
I'm trying to go in with a clean slate. That's what I'm saying.
Totally fine.
And and the best part about this fandom is we allow every fan to have their own space and be their own level of fan. And if you want to be like me and avoid all of the things, good. If you want to know all the things and watch all of the breakdowns from Matt and T and everybody else like Cliff is, that's cool too. If you want to talk about it all on Discord, we welcome it. There's over 6,000 people.
We do.
We've had nearly 50,000 messages this month on our Discord. It's one of the most active Discords out there, and it's only going to get better. And they're doing a watch along. They're rewatching season 1 of Rings of Power right now, in Discord. Well, not right now, but if you want
that's so cool.
Yeah, and so people are logging in. They're putting it on the TV and they're logging into Discord on their phone or their laptop, and they're doing a watch along of season 1 of Rings of Power. I think they're up to episode 3 now or something like that. But do come to Discord for our friendly neighborhood watch-alongs, and we're really looking forward to all the excitement. And hopefully next Tuesday at this time, we'll be hearing and seeing photos from the world premiere in London of Rings of Power Season 2.
Yes, we will. It's an exciting time, and the energy is just building up and building up. And I am personally jealous of that one person in England who's going to get Rory Kinnear's first ever Tom Bombadil autograph.
I know.
I'm so jealous. Who is that person? The first there's no Funko Pop yet, but
you know that you know that photo of like the first guy that bought the Windows XP or the Windows 95 box at a store, or the first Xbox, the first guy that walks out of the store with the PlayStation 4. Like, that's what's about to happen for Tolkien fans. The first official autograph from Tom Bombadil is about to happen at Forbidden Planet in London.
I love it. Do you know I think it's really cool that Bombadil is hanging out with the stranger, who we assume may or may not be Gandalf the Grey, which we may assume. But I think that is my Meowth hat. Team Rocket's blasting off again. How about that? I'm just excited. It's a very big, energetic, enthusiastic time to be a Tolkien fan right now. It really is.
There you go. All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much. And I wish we were live at the premiere, but we're not. So we'll be live with you here from our studios in Los Angeles. Till next time.
Before we go, I want to support the animators who are striking. And I want to support the video game actors who are striking, because the 2 strikes happening right now, right? Well, actually, the Animators Guild is turning around with a very good position of negotiations, and they're very happy to be having productive meetings. But I also want to say, like we did a great interview with our friend who just came to join us last week. And we want to say, again, here at theonering.net, we're in complete solidarity with the actors in the video game world who are trying to present their terms through their union for the Screen Actors Guild strike for video game folks. It's really important. But a very special farewell, because I'm representing Team Rocket tonight, and that's because the voiceover community had a great loss, and that would be Rachel Lillis. Rachel Lillis, the star of Pokemon, and she was the voice of Misty and Jessie from Team Rocket, from Pokemon. And she is a voiceover star and a legend. So we want to say, my hat is off, and farewell, Rachel Lillis. You are gone far, far too soon. At 55 years old, which is my age, I have to say you're gone far too soon. And thank you for all the great voices you did. All the Pokemon fans, thank you as well. So, and now we're closing out a brief. Was there something else you wanted to add, Justin? Where are you? I don't hear you, Justin.
The chat room wanted this, and you know how much I don't.
There you go.
I'm not on board with this. I'm not on board.
What?
But the chat room requested this, so this is for the fans watching the show. They are disappointed that there was no Miyazaki Minute. So let me set up a Miyazaki Minute for you, Cliff.
There's no Miyazaki Minute today. There isn't one.
Well, I'm setting you up for one. Okay?
Okay, great. All right, here we go.
Here we go. In our Discord today, it was discussed that according to Tolkien's writings, Numenor had airships. True or false?
Airships? I don't remember Professor Tolkien ever toying around with the idea of airships. I don't remember that.
Numenor had airships. Anyway, that's everyone's homework for tonight. So
Okay, I need to look that up. That looks like an intriguing bit of ephemera that I need to look up and verify.
they were so technologically
Okay.
advanced that
Weedy09 says it was a very early draft and a very early iteration of the idea. So this must have been an idea that he toyed with and then abandoned. So we need to put that into that category. And as the Tolkien professor, Corey Olson, will be first in the room to tell you, Professor Tolkien was notorious for that. Developing an idea and then saying, no, I'll go away from that idea and do something else instead. That happens so often in the developmental years of his stories of the First Age and the Valinor ages before time began.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Tolkien wrote it. He might have abandoned it. Maybe not. Maybe he didn't get around to coming back to it because the Silmarillion, again, was mostly edited by Christopher Tolkien posthumously. So, Cliff, the question to you is, if Tolkien played with the idea of airships, battalions, military airships, and trading airships for commerce, would you be okay with that included in Rings of Power?
No, because I think Professor Tolkien showed great wisdom in moving on from that idea. He moved on from that idea. I think that there's a greater wisdom there.
Well, this is why our show is so wonderfully adored by everybody, because I disagree with you. I think airships from Numenor is amazing aerial power. You know, if the Eagles aren't going to help the good guys, then the leaders of men have to take technology into their own hands. And I'd be okay with seeing airships included from Numenor. And that led me to think, what are some other popular culture things that have used airships? And I thought steampunk. So someone in our Discord said, what if we took this picture of Elendil and made it a steampunk airship? So shout out to Discord for
that's fun. That's really funny. I like
for
that.
using AI for something that it is perfectly used for. That's crappy ideas amusing. That nobody would ever draw. so the question
is very amusing.
Very
funny.
This is all a setup to say steampunk airship Numenor sounds like something everyone would love to see from a Miyazaki perspective. Cliff, do you agree?
Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki have dabbled in little bits of things that might be considered in the realm of steampunk, but overall, I think they've avoided really going deep into the genre of steampunk. So, I mean, you would look at Laputa, Castle in the Sky, as maybe the closest they ever got to being kind of a steampunk world. I'm all down for anything with flying ships, because everybody knows that Hayao Miyazaki is deeply enamored with aircraft and airplanes and loves nothing more than animating beautiful airships. He loves doing it. So
does airships work in an animated adaptation better than a live action adaptation? Because you just said you did not want to see them in this live action show.
No, but if you're gonna do that at all, then let the animators do it in their own unique way.
So there's your Miyazaki minute. Cliff officially endorses an idea that he doesn't want in live action. Airships in
But he wants it in
Numenor.
animation. As long as, hey, in anything in animation, I'm all for it. And that's really funny. You are so funny today, Justin. Thank you for the energy and the comedy, my friend, and thank you for co-hosting with me.
We thank Discord for creating this this conversation. So steampunk. So Cliff's official stance on steampunk Numenor, not cool for live action, but send it to anime and let's see some animated Miyazaki Studio Ghibli airships.
I agree. Mr. Higgy Baby, I agree with you that we ought to get into the similarities and differences of the ethos between Tolkien and Miyazaki. Both of them as great artists and great storytellers, but both of them had an ethos and a deeper concern and message. And as individuals from different nations and different cultures, both of these great artists really did approach their ethos in a very grand and wonderful personal way. We should talk about that in a future episode of Torn Tuesday, which, again, now that we're closing our show, I want to remind, ladies and gentlemen, you can come here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time and be a part of our world, okay? Be like Ariel and be a part of our world. And join us on the Discord. As Justin has mentioned, it's a really lively and vivacious place with maybe the user interface is a bit odd at first, but you'll get used to it. And in the meantime, you can follow us, theonering.net, on all social medias. Just take out the dot and type in the One Ring Net. You can follow us. Personally, myself, I am Clifford Broadway, and I will marry you. If anybody wants to get married, I'll marry you. Get your groom, get your bride, come together. I'm going to be so busy through the next months. It's really amazing this time of year. And the Tolkien fans that have been asking me to do Tolkien weddings is just off the scale. It's really exciting. I wish you all a great week, a really great weekend, and be kind and careful, all right? Look out for one another. So we'll see you here next time after you follow me at QuickBeam2000. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at QUICKBEAM 2000. And then we'll be here next Tuesday. And because I'm going to this wonderful concert of the best, very best British New Wave, I might only be here for a partial reckoning for the show next Tuesday, where we take a look at the new trailer that drops tomorrow for season 2 of The Rings of Power, coming to you on Amazon Prime Video, right there on your telly. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you for being with us again. Thank you for looking out for one another. We'll see you next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Until then, good night and good luck. Or, better yet, buenos noches y buena suerte. Bye, everybody.